I really enjoyed watching this documentary. I am surprised and in awe of the amount of footage and recordings and photos that you have, because I know I certainly don't from back then. Just like, we're talking about a time before iPhones, before people are documenting everything on Instagram. And yet here you are with like a trove of resources to look back on. It's like, at the time, did you realize that what you were doing was maybe a little outside of the norm?
From the time I was 5 years old, I kept a diary. Then at 12 years old, an audio recorder. Then as a teenager, a video camera. And I think we're born into this experience with a passion that drives us. And for me, it was journalism and that inspiration to capture the world around me. And I was growing up in such a colorful world with such colorful friends and just wanted to drink it all in.
I mean, you talk about your colorful friends, and obviously a lot of them show up in this now with you interviewing them.
Yes.
Just how easy was it for you to get them on board? And I guess who had the biggest reaction to some of the footage?
It was so incredible. Everyone was so willing to share of themselves and to share so authentically. And I think it really goes to show that these were really true friendships that
Mm.
go so far back. And we really were like our own middle school, of friends and kids growing up together. And I was so grateful that everyone just opened their hearts. And I think they're so sincere throughout it in sharing their lives, and so it was amazing. And each person had their own perspective, and at the root of it, though, in the core, you saw this deep love and connection that we all had with each other.
And I mean, I know some of it you see during the credits, but when you are pulling up some of these clips of you guys as kids partying, just what were some of those reactions like from them?
Just watching, Brian, it was so funny when he first watched it, shaking his head, and, David Arquette thinking it was so funny that here he was trying to direct me and here I was filming him. And there's just so much joy. And then, those bad boy moments, of friends reflecting, going, oh, what was I thinking at that time? It was just so fun to watch. And then some of the really emotional moments, my dear friend, Andrew Dorff, who I love so much, who
Mhm.
I feel is looking over us now, and being able to watch the footage back with Stephen was really so meaningful, because it was really the tapes that brought us together. We were friends in our youth.
Yeah.
And after he passed away, the tapes really just made us so much closer.
And now, talk about some of the people that are no longer with us. I was a big fan of Ladybugs. It Sequest back
I
in the
just
day.
literally hung up with Jonathan's parents, his father, about 2 minutes before you and I
Oh, really?
jumped on. Yeah.
Oh, I think it was nice to see him. It was nice to see him there for you right after your surgery. It was just these moments that I think are really nice for you to have. But just,
Absolutely.
being able to revisit some of that with people who aren't here, just what goes through your head? What is that process like?
It was such an incredible process, because seeing the depth of love that was all around me was really awe-inspiring, because I've always loved people. I really do.
Yeah.
I love people, even with our flaws and our ups and our downs. I really love people. And so the realization that I was so loved back was incredible. And, finding the voicemails from Jonathan, and, when we were kids, we would press pound, because literally Jonathan would have this thing where he liked to fill up my tape. So
Mm.
he would just talk for like 30 minutes at a time. And it was really in those final moments of those audio recordings that he really shared so much of himself. And you hear that through the documentary. And it was so moving. And then there was so much pain, because
Yeah.
I didn't see how much, pain some of the people that I love most were going through. And, I think we all had different levels of it. And there was so much joy and bliss that I remembered. And then there was also some internal struggles that we were going through, some of us more than others.
I was to say, going into this, did you kind of go into it with the mindset of this is going to be like blissful nostalgia, or did you know there were going to be some?
I went into it literally wondering if things had happened the way that I remembered them.
Mm,
I had remembered our lives being so joyful and so full of life and so blissful, and really, I didn't realize that I was opening Pandora's box. And I
mm,
think on a subconscious level, I probably locked it away for so long because I had lost some of my closest friends so young. And so on a subconscious level, I think I probably wasn't ready to look back at it. And it was only, about 4 years ago when I was wondering if things happened the way I remembered them that I started unlocking the vault. And I didn't intend for the documentary to be about me. I was so focused on making it about everybody but me. And
mm.
then it ultimately became very much a coming of age story of both the teen me and adult me.
When you were going through your treasure trove, what I guess made you smile the most?
Oh, so many moments. I love looking at our youth and that there was such innocence and just such love. It was so fun watching the videos, Magic Mountain of all of us just waiting in line and nobody's on their devices. They're just talking and laughing and hanging out together.
Baby
And
Leo.
I mean, it just, I love the moment in the car when, when Kevin's calling over to the other car and it's like someone wants to get charged for the phone call, just the moments that are, that are so amazing in retrospect, you know what I mean? And just the joy, there's so much joy and New York and how colorful those experiences were. And really to be able to have the ghosts of the past that I really feel are angels surrounding me, to have them live on through this. And that I hope in some way people are again watching it through their own lens. And that in some way, I would love to be able to raise awareness around the things that we're talking about,
Yeah.
around growing up, around, being teens, around the awkward stages in our life.